I don't understand why so many bad things happen to me when I actually try my best to be a good person and do the right things. I mean, I mostly obey the rules. I am not like a rule breaker and I'm stealing things. I'm also not like outside punishing people and hurting them like many of them are doing. But still, it feels like only bad things happen to me. I mean, every week. And sometimes it feels like it's every day. Some shit happens that just pulls me down. Feels like I only have bad luck. And that makes me feel like it's punishment. It can only be. But why? If you see yourself like this and you say these things all the time to yourself because you believe it, I actually have bad news for you, ironically. So this planet, this universe, actually does not give a damn if you are a well-behaved person and you do everything right. This way of thinking and this belief, it's really interesting to me, not only because I have been there, I thought like that, but also because I have noticed that the only people that see the world like this, that say this to themselves, are the ones that are not aware on the way that this planet actually works, what laws this planet has. So if you have already watched some of my recent videos, you will understand how we get to be programmed by society. And what I mean by this is that when you are born, your family will do their best to teach their ways of being and doing things, because they believe that this is the only way or the best way to survive and even to thrive in life. And unfortunately, the vast majority believe so strongly that their ways of doing something and how you should be and act are the only way to be a good person and even succeed in life, that as soon as you even as a kid, if you try to do something in a different way or you try to express yourself in a different way, even if it proves to be better, you get rejected, punished, and denied. And because your survival as a kid depends on the closeness to your caregivers, because, I mean, they are the ones that feed you and give you what you need to survive. So here is also where your ego kicks in, your rational mind. And here it creates all these coping mechanisms and all these strategies to guarantee your survival. This is why the rules and ways of our parents become our internal voice, dictating how and what we should be and do things. The emotion shame will make sure of it. But this system that people teach the kids on how to be and to do things, it's based on, if you do this in this way, you will receive approval, applause, acceptance, closeness, and other good rewards. But as soon as you do things in a different way or you act in a different way, you get punishment, rejection, disconnection, and other types of negative things. And here is where this belief comes from, that if you are a good person and you behave really well, then the universe must reward you, right? And if not, it will punish you. All religions are based on this teaching. Now, if that would be true, then our world would be more just, and only the people who don't behave right would receive the biggest punishments and painful experience, right? So that means that would make the world a lot different than it is right now, don't you think? Can you see around you how the world does not function like this? Can you gather all the evidence for yourself? So you can safely say that the world does not function like this. There is no universal law based on deserving. It is only in our society system. But because other people teach us this system, it made us believe that the universe it is also like that. And that there is one person controlling us and deciding what our rewards and our punishments will be. Look, this planet, this universe doesn't give a damn if you behave the way your parents and others told you to behave. This universe doesn't care if you are trying your best to become whatever others told you to be and that it was the right thing to be and do. This universe is not based on deserving or doing the right things and being a good person. And one good reason for it is because that all, right and wrong, is subjective. Just think about it. Isn't it true that in one country, organizing an arranged marriage where the people, they cannot choose anyone they love to marry and they have to create and raise a family like this? And that is considered to be the right thing to do. And if you agree to that, you will be seen as a good person and therefore you deserve all the approval and acceptance of the family. But if you would do it in some places here in Europe or other countries, it would be seen as an abomination, an extreme act of cruelty to take one's choices to build a life that they desire, and therefore believe that those people deserve punishment for forcing that, and it should be prohibited. How many examples do you know where it is good and right in one country is actually bad and wrong in another? Now, there are many laws here on Earth. Some the scientists have discovered and are able to even explain it. Others, they are still trying to figure it out how and to understand it. And some are still to be discovered. Since we are talking about emotions and how we feel, I will mention only the ones that are more directly related to it. So some of these metaphysical or spiritual laws are the law of attraction, where you are, the energy you carry with the beliefs that you have is what attracts into your reality. Then the law of vibration that says that everything in the universe vibrates at a certain frequency, has a certain energy. And your energy matches all that is in the same energy. Then the law of cause and effect, karma, that says that every action has a consequence. And the law of oneness, that says that everything in the universe is interconnected. And there are also others. Once you gain curiosity to open your mind and try to see what is beyond this bubble that we all live in, beyond these simple lives that we are living, that is when you will be able to understand and even see for yourself, collect the evidence for yourself that shows that this world is actually way more different than our parents, teachers, and others taught us and told us. Now I have a question for you. When have you seen a person feeling really proud of themselves and happy and fulfilled with their lives at that moment where you were able to see that a lot of good things were happening? If you have encountered that person, was she or her feeling like that because they were behaving exactly the way that their family and others wanted to, and he or her felt that they finally made their family proud of him, and that was what gave them all these amazing feelings? Or was she or her feeling like that because she was finally acting on their inspirations, faced their fears, and with that followed their dreams, and they were even able to accomplish something? Even if it is a small thing, a small dream, a simple thing. And not all of the family approved that. What I'm trying to get you to see is that the more you do what you feel like doing instead of what you should do and what you have to, and you act on these momentary inspirations that you have daily for as long as you feel like it until it's time to move on to the next thing, which only means follow your intuition, that will lead to your dreams, no matter if other people approve of that or not, because it feels authentic to you, the more good things will happen to you. The more you will be able to feel connected, fulfilled, inspired, and alive. But here's the thing. You only be able to do that if you are able to deprogram yourself and you are able to listen to your internal world and then express that. The reason why you attract so many negative moments is because you carry a lot of unreleased wounds, events, memories, and you weren't able to liberate all that heaviness yet. But attention, once you are able to heal and you are finally able to listen to yourself and you follow whatever it comes out, so your intuition, your inspirations, you are able to express them and fully stay on the ground with who you are and what you desire, this doesn't mean that no negative thing will ever happen to you anymore and all the pain will leave and never come back and only good things, positive things will happen for the rest of your life. I'm really sorry to tell you, but this is not how this planet functions. It doesn't even matter if you believe in me or not. Look, you didn't came here to have the most positive and heavenly good experience forever with no contrast, no negative thing. You didn't sign up for that. Because if you did, you wouldn't choose to be born on this planet. You came here because you are a really curious being that is eager to learn, to explore, and to discover. And here is the best place to do it, where you are able to really fast receive something and say, no, I really don't like this, or yes, I love this. And I can give you a really simple example here about why contrast is actually so important and plays such a big role. So let's say, for example, that you have 5 pieces of fruit in front of you and you never saw that before, you have no idea how they taste, you don't know them. That means that only when you pick one up and you bite it, will the sensations in your body, in your mouth, tell you if that is actually good for you or not. And you will know that by the feeling of a negative taste in your mouth. So you can call this as a negative experience. And now you will know what is good for you and what is not. And then you can try the other pieces and accumulate what you like and put aside what you don't like. And it is that accumulation of things that you like and don't like that will show you more of who you are, and you will be able to understand yourself better. But of course, this small scale of a negative experience really does go away really fast, right? If you don't like it, put it aside, the feeling goes away. But there are other things that we experience in life that are a lot more extreme and a lot more difficult to liberate and let go. But it is what you receive after learning a lesson, overcoming something that isn't right for you. That was heavy and negative, what you receive after that and what you are after that, what you feel after that, is what made you come here. And if you want a perspective in a bigger scale, if you are wondering why you would want such an experience like this for yourself, the answer is, it's because it's not only about you. It's because you learning what you came here to learn, what you receive and are after that, will give us all a different perspective and different options. So this is actually bigger than just you. But of course, if you are right now in such a big pain and you carry a lot of bad and terrible feelings that you haven't been able to liberate, then you probably don't even believe in this. You cannot see this because it's still too heavy for you. which makes sense because nobody taught you how to release all this yet. Have you realized that we only have learned how to actually run away, reject, distract ourselves from whatever feels negative, from a sensation of pain? But only now a lot of us are actually realizing that that doesn't work emotionally. It actually makes it worse and makes us carry all this pain for years and years. And the worst thing is, it accumulates, and then we come to a point where we have so much pain in us that even a small thing, something like, for example, you're having a bad day and you want to just come home and rest, and you are trying to open the door with your keys and they are not working. Just that already makes you explode or makes you even feel more tired and exhausted. So this is the difference. If you have an accumulation of bad things and events and pain from all your life, that means that your container is almost full. Then, when something bad happens, you are feeling that event that happened, plus what is still inside the container that is practically full, and you can add the fact that your daily life is based on what you have to do and must do, and not on what you feel like doing. So voila, that's the recipe for a depression. Of course, it makes you even more tired and totally exhausted. Even a small event can do that. But if you are able to release as much as you can from that container that you have inside of you that is full, then when something negative appears, which you already know it's part of life, but because the container is not full anymore, you will not feel that heavy. Of course, you will still feel a little bit of pain at first and sad and so on, but it will move through you faster and smoothly. It will not be the same. And you don't have to carry it for years and years. Are you able to see the difference here? This is why it's so important to learn how to deal with your emotions and how to liberate the pain. And I already have some videos that you can watch about it and try for yourself to see how it works. Look, as you can see, this universe does not work in the same system that our family and the government and others teach us. This world is not based on deserving, on being a well-behaved person. And the people that know that, they don't see themselves as a good or a bad person, because they know that we are always both. When you are being you, your authentic self, and you express that, you will not be able to please everybody. And of course, if someone expects you to do something for them, but you don't feel like it, you just don't want it, of course, some of those will look at you and say, you are a bad person, you are really selfish. But you are not meant to please everybody. It's not your goal. But you know what that does? If you do something different that your family doesn't approve of, and you stay true to that because it feels really authentic and it is you, what you will feel is a complete alignment with your values and with yourself. And at the same time, you are giving your family the opportunity to see that there are other ways on doing and being, and also that it is okay to be different, even if that means you have to walk away from your family. Look, you don't need to convince anyone to see differently or to change. You don't need that. By you showing who you are and you are doing what you feel like doing and you follow your inspirations, you live in this more authentic way of being, then automatically the people around you, they will observe you. They will be looking at you. And that will give them an example of what is possible. I mean, I am sure that you have an example on your life where You didn't know that something was even possible. You had no idea until you saw someone else doing it. Then you were like, whoa, oh, this is a thing? Can you see how much you can actually change someone just by being you and letting others observe you? That's why it's so important to learn to see yourself as both, as good and bad. Look, you are just you, and when you are in a state of full authenticity and you express that, it is not easy to be when this society is actually based on authenticity. That's where you get more likes. But still, if you are afraid of being a bad person, then I can tell you my perspective on this. So I only see myself as a bad person if I would, on purpose, hurt somebody else, because I believe that that's the only way for me to get what I want. But the thing here is, the more authentic you are, the more abundant you become, the more easy it is for you to see how abundant our world is. And with that, you will realize that there is more than enough for every single soul and species here on Earth. The only lack in this planet is in our minds, in our thoughts. And do you know what is the best thing you can do here? Don't believe me. Question what I am saying and what others have taught you and told you. Question everything and go find the evidence and the answers for yourself. Be curious, be bold, and go explore, because that is when you will see for yourself how big this world actually is. I hope this helped you in some way, and as usual, I wish you a very nice week.